Yo, 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 what's going on, beautiful people, beautiful people? Let me pause that. Um, this is something that I want to talk about in our community. And it's just further education of the breed. Like I told you, I have a few spots left in the program. And y'all can learn a lot in there. I'll give y'all all of my knowledge from all these years, you know. But what I will tell y'all is this. Everybody focuses on the rear because it's easy to identify because of the rear's movement. But there is a such thing, and most of these dogs, not most of them, but a lot of these dogs suffer from shoulder dysplasia. It's very, very important for y'all to understand shoulder dysplasia is real. Real. It's just like the rear end. The socket in the shoulders can be inflamed. You can get to a point where it's very, very hard for these dogs to walk, considering that a lot of these dogs carry their weight up front, and we're starting to see more and more dogs that do this collapsing thing. I just seen a video in the ring where a dog just didn't want to walk no more. He laid down. It was because he was in pain, but that one actually looked like it was from the rear end. But, you know, I've explained this many a times with the shoulders. The shoulder sets, you want those shoulders straight up and down. You want that to align properly into the socket so the weight is carried properly. If it's in at an angle, it's causing an adverse effect of stress and strain, not only on the joint, but also on the ligaments that have to hold this together. The bow leg look is very, very painful to these dogs. It doesn't just, it doesn't just hurt the shoulder, it'll hurt the elbows, and it'll transfer throughout the body. I really seriously hope that we continue to put an emphasis on a straight front end. I've seen some very bully, beautiful dogs that have very straight fronts, and that's what they're needed because they're so massive up front. A lot of weight is there. I mean, even a dog that's not quite as massive up front needs to be straight in the fronts. But this is something that gets ignored because typically, in our breed, the main thing that we know about is the rear. But I hate to tell you guys this, if you get a puppy and that puppy or an adult dog is unfortunately stressed out in the front end, it'll cause a deterioration in the front end that is massive. And you'll notice that this too is just like the rear end, where you'll have a dog that doesn't want to walk as much, they're in a lot of pain, and they can't tell you what's hurting them, but it can very easily be the shoulders that's causing a lot of this issue because they do the exact same thing that the rear end does. If the let's just call it the ball and socket is aligned wrong, naturally what happens over time is it wears down. Sometimes it can start to pop out. I know Miyagi's elbow used to pop out a lot, but the shoulder can pop out, or it'll get to a point where it wears a lot, and it's a different movement, so it's harder to pop out. So what you'll have is almost a floating joint to where it's not fitting in there properly, and it's constantly causing, it's one thing when things fit like this, but as that shrinks and it gets like that, it's more like just ratcheting around in there. That causes a massive amount of arthritic inflammation and a lot of pain, and this is why we emphasize and we stress the shoulders, because you need every joint to fit properly. If these joints are not fitting properly, your dog's not going to last long. The dog is going to get to a point to where it either needs an incredibly expensive surgery, which most people will not have, or the dog is going to have to be put down. A lot of these dogs are starting to collapse in the front, and you're seeing them. They just don't want to walk because their shoulders are hurting. They're inflamed, and sometimes there are different things that you can do to help with the inflammation, but the ultimate thing that we can do if these dogs are going through it is to not breed and to not promote that in the future. It is one of the reasons why I'm very, very against the extreme dogs and these extreme stack-offs, because most of those dogs have bad shoulder sets, which is like pretty much 99% that they're going to have shoulder issues. This is one of the reasons why, as you think about it, you don't see these extreme dogs living 10, 11, 12 years. You just don't. Most of these dogs have issues where they break down early and we never see them again, and it's like their secret thing in their community where they try to act as if the dogs lived a long, healthy life and they just moved on. But the reality is a lot of these dogs end up having to be put down because they're no longer mobile. I'm probably telling one of their many, many secrets again, but It's something that we have to change, or our community is going to be in trouble. You know, it's going to be we're in trouble, but it's going to be a lot more trouble. So I hope that you guys study shoulder dysplasia, study the elbows, study the hips, study all these joint areas that can cause, that can suffer from arthritic conditions that can cause your dog's life to be shortened greatly. You know, you'll thank me for it later, and you'll thank me in the process of looking for a puppy or looking for a line of dogs if you want to breed that has this set up properly, because it'll help you with the longevity of your life. It'll help, with the dog's life, and it'll also help you cut down on veterinarian bills, you know what I mean? But until next time, man, y'all look into shoulder dysplasia. Peace.